And here comes very famous words, the words of blessing that many parents use for their children on Friday afternoon before candlelighting, or Friday night, or all the time. Hamalach hagoel osi mikoro. The angel who always liberated me from all evil. Yaakov says, whenever I got into trouble, God sent an angel. Yevorech, may this angel bless as haneorim, these young men. V'yikore bohem shmi, and may my name be called upon them. Not only my name, but Yaakov speaks of a legacy. V'shem avoisai, and the name of my forefathers, Avraham v'Yitzchak, so that even though Menashe and Ephraim are Egyptian born, they should be considered children and offspring of Yaakov and Yitzchak and Avraham, as in fact they were, because as we learned yesterday, Menashe and Ephraim became full-fledged tribes of Israel. V'yidgu l'roiv, and may they prosper and multiply abundantly. And you'll notice, as Rashi says, that the word v'yidgu comes from the word dag. Dag is fish in Hebrew. May they flourish and prosper like fish. B'kerev ha'oretz, in the midst of the earth. And that's a talent. Fish can flourish and prosper and grow like fish because they're in the water. But to be able to be like fish on dry land, you have to have Yaakov's blessing. And let's look at Rashi. 16, Hamalach hagoyel. You know what, I think I forgot a Rashi here on 14. Sikel es yodov kitargume, as the Targum says, achkimun, he made his hands wise. Bahaskel v'chochma, with understanding and wisdom. Hiskel es yodov l'kacha midas, he made his hands wise, intentionally, ki yedeya hoya, even though he knew, ki menashe abcher v'apa pikein, loishos yemina, all of he didn't place his right hand. Hamalach hagoyel. Malach harogil ishtaleach elai b'tzarasi. The angel who was always regularly sent to me in my difficult times. And our commentaries tell us that we learn from Yaakov that every good deed a person does creates an angel. So Yaakov did so many good deeds, he had so many angels. He always had angels to draw upon. Because every mitzvah we do creates a protective angel, which protects and defends us. As it says, Vayomer Elai Malach Elokim B'Chalem Yaakov, going back to the simple meaning that the angel of God said to me in a dream, Yaakov, Yaakov, Anochi Hakel Beis El, I am the same angel as appeared to you representing Hashem in Beis El. So whenever I was in trouble, says Yaakov, an angel always came in the name of Hashem to save me. Yevorech HaSanaorim, Menashe and Ephraim. V'yidgu, let them grow. Why the expression v'yidgu? Rooted in the word dag, fish. Kadogim halolu, the bracha to Menashe and Ephraim. And this is in general the unique and special bracha to Yosef, to the tribe of Yosef, which carries over to the entire Jewish people, is that they should be like fish. Why? Because on dry land, everybody knows what goes on with everyone else. And anytime somebody has a blessing, it's in the newspapers. And it's on the internet. It's on Google. Here, the fish, nobody knows what's going on in the ocean. There's a whole world going on in the ocean. But it's private, it's covered, it's concealed. In Kabbalah, it's called Alma Diskasya, the concealed world. So, the byproduct of that is that there's no ayin hara. There's no negative eye possible. There's no evil eye possible. People can't say, oh, why should this person have so much blessing? That is the blessing that Yaakov gave to Ephraim and Menashe. They should prosper, but they should stay under the radar. And no one should be able to harm them with their negative and jealous thoughts. Sheporim v'rovim, they are multiplying, they are fruitful. Ve'ein ayin hara sheletes bohem, but no evil eye can befall them. That is the unique blessing which Ephraim and Menashe get. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it carries over to all of the Jewish people, because all of the Jewish people are considered offspring and children of Yosef. Just quickly, let's look at a Baal HaTurim here. on the last verse, 16. V'yikore bohem shmi. There's another expression in the Torah, v'yikore shmo b'Yisrael, to tell us that all the tribes of Israel are called on Yosef's name. Even though it makes sense, we're all descendants of Abraham. We're all descendants of Isaac. We're all descendants of Jacob. But we're not all descendants of Yosef. Nevertheless, Yosef becomes, in a sense, one of the patriarchs. As it says, the famous verse in Tehillim, Go'alto bizroya amecha, you redeem with a firm right arm your people, B'nei Yaakov v'Yosef Selah, children of Yaakov and Yosef eternally. So that every Jew is considered, in a sense, a child of Yosef, even though Yosef is only the father of one tribe. So Yosef becomes connected to every Jew. And so does his blessing of the Yidgu Laro B'kerev Ha'oretz, which is why this became the foremost blessing which parents give to their children. End of Chumash portion.
Jewish audio on Chabad.org.
Good morning. Today's Torah portion for the third portion of Vayechi, chapter 48, verse 17. We're learning about the fact that Yosef was told that his father is dying, and Yosef takes his two sons, Menashe and Ephraim, to Yaakov, asking for a blessing, and he places Menashe, the older one, at Yaakov's right hand, placing Ephraim, the younger one, at his father Yaakov's left hand, and Yaakov surprises him and crosses his hands and places the right hand on the younger one, the left hand on the older one. In Jewish tradition, especially in the teachings of Kabbalah, the right takes precedence. The right represents kindness, and the older one deserves the right. Vayar Yosef, and when Yosef saw Ki Yoshis Aviv Yad Yeminei, that his father placed his right hand al Rosh Ephraim, on the head of Ephraim, Vayera Be'enov, and this seemed wrong, inappropriate, bad in his eyes. So he thought his father is 147 years old. He got mixed up. A senior moment. Vayismeich Yad Aviv. I have those all the time. Vayismeich Yad Aviv. So he held up, he supported his father's hand, Lahosireisa, to remove it, Me'aresh Ephraim, from Ephraim's head, to place it, Aresh Menashe, on Menashe's head. 17, Vayismeich Yad Aviv, Herima Me'aresh B'nei. He, Yosef, took his father Yaakov's hand, lifted it up from his son Ephraim's head, Usmacha B'yodei, and placed it, held it with his hand, with the intent of placing the hand on the head of the older one. 18, Vayomer Yosef el Aviv, and Yosef says to his father, Lo chen Avi, not like this, father. Ki zeh habcher, this one is the older one. Sim yemincha al reishei, place your right hand on his head. He's the older one. He deserves precedence and blessing. Yosef, intending to correct his aged father. 19, we learn here a very interesting thing. Lo ye'una l'tzadik kol oven. A tzaddik does not make mistakes. Even when he makes a mistake, there's a reason for it. And here, Yaakov did so with full knowledge and intention. Vayemoin Aviv, his father refused. Vayomer, and he said, Yodati v'ni yodati, I know my son, I know who's older, I know who's younger. I'm looking into the future. Gam hu yeh la'om, He, Menashe, will also be a great nation, meaning a tribe. V'gam hu yigdol, he will also be great. Yulam, however, Ochiv hakoten yigdal mimenu, his younger brother Ephraim will be even greater than him. V'zare yihyeh milei hagoyim, and his offspring will be a multitude of nations, great nations. What does it mean, great nations? How could one tribe be great nations? Rashi tells us some insights from the oral law. Yodati b'ni yodati, I know my son, I know, shehu abcher, that he is the firstborn. Gam hu yela'am begam hu yigdo. He will also become a nation. He will also be great. Sha'osid Gideon lotzes mimenu, because Gidon will come forth from him. Gidon was one of the leaders later, and he will issue forth. Sha'akadosh Baruch Hu eisen nes al yodei. God used Gidon for miracles, as we read.